Hello, I'm Dan Castle, and I have the privilege of going through the champions that the other judges have selected so that I can choose the best Bantam, the best Standard, and then the best overall bird of the junior show. To start with, I'll go through the Bantam class. I'm going to look at the AOCCL champion, and it's a Buckeye male. He looks very nice. He's in excellent condition. He has a very nice top line. Things I'd like to see more of are a little bit more breast on this bird, and just watch that black coloring throughout the body, and especially the tail of the bird. But otherwise, very nice, excellent condition. Next is the Old English. It's a black Old English male. Again, good condition on this bird. He has good width of feather everywhere. He has good color and a very nice head. Whoever did this did a great job dubbing. Something I'd like to see, especially on an Old English, is a little bit more body, especially in the breast. I want to see some power there. So it's a little bit lacking, but something to work on. The next bird I'm going to look at is the rosecomb. So the bird that won the best rosecomb is a black Wyandotte female. Again, it's looking like these juniors are doing a good job with conditioning, and this one is also very well conditioned. Something I'd also like to note is she has very good leg color, which is sometimes hard to get in the Wyandottes. She has good breast, and in general, just a good profile on this chicken. Something I'd like to see a little bit more of on her is more skull. Especially to fit that nice beefy body that she's got going on. The skull I'd like to see a little bit more with there. Next, I'll go to the modern game. It's a BB red male. Something I have to note is the side profile and the stance on this bird, especially in the pictures that were submitted, is excellent. You really get to see this bird and everything that he has going for him. Very good color, very good type. He's really tight on his wings, tight on that tail, good top line, good breast, excellent condition like all of the other birds. So good job with whoever has this bird. You've done a good job photoing it. Next, I'll go with the champion feather leg, which is a buff Brahma female. Very nice head on this bird. She has good skull, good width throughout the whole body, good condition just like the others. Something I'd like to see a little bit more of is a little bit of light underneath the legs. She's a little bit lower to the ground, or at least in the picture that's been submitted. I'd also like to see a little bit more sharpness in the Colombian pattern, especially closer to the tail. I believe the last bird in the Bantam class is the single comb clean leg champion, which is the New Hampshire female. Good condition like the rest of them. She has a little bit of time to go with the finish level, and I can see that a little bit in the face, but she has very nice color in general. She has a good top line, good bottom line, excellent tail carriage. Like to see a little bit more finish, like I said, and then a little bit more evenness in the color throughout the body. So when reviewing all of these birds, the Buckeye, the Old English, the Wyandotte, that modern, the Brahma, and then finally the New Hampshire female, I'd have to say the modern male is just an excellent bird. The stance on him and just the color, everything that I'm seeing on these images is excellent. So I'm going to go with best Bantam on that modern male. Reserve Bantam is going to go to the buff Brahma. She has very nice type on her, excellent head on her, very good color, even though it could be a little bit more crisp. In person, it would be nice to see how much space is underneath her, but she just has a lot of power going for her, and I think a very good slot for the reserve champion Bantam here. Next are the standards. I'm going to start with the English class because that's the photo I have up next. This is a very nice Sussex female. She's very well marked. She has a good top line. She's sloping and then a nice angle up. I'd like to see a little bit more breast on that bottom line, but otherwise, very nice chicken, good condition, like all of the others, good finish, and very crisp in her coloration. So good job. It's hard to have a partied colored bird that has color this nice. Next is the White Rock male, which is the Champion American. This bird really stood out when I saw him, especially in one of the images. His top line was excellent, especially for a rock. The color is nice. It's a white chicken, but he's very white, and he doesn't have any stains in any places. Just nice overall. Something I'd like to see is a little bit more finish in the hackle. It can be tough on those standard males. But yeah, he needs to finish a little bit there and a little bit more breast. But my guess is that with time, he'll gain that. But right now, he could use a little bit more down there for the bottom line. Next is the Champion Asiatic. It's a black Cochin female. Very nice looking chicken. She has a great Asiatic head, a lot of skull over the eyes. She has excellent color, very good width of feather, which is important for the Cochins to give you that good cushion over the tail. She seems to lose a little bit of width, at least in one of these images. She seems to lose a little bit of width down in the tail area, and it's important to maintain that all the way through. So that's something that I would work on with her. The next is Champion Mediterranean. What appears to be a really nice Spanish male. It's hard to tell because he's not very relaxed in any of the images that are provided, and they're a little bit further away and blurry, but from what I can see, he has an excellent head, excellent white face, and a pretty good stance. Feedback I'd have to give is just try to catch him when in a better stance there, and maybe not with the cage in front. Because it's a little bit blurry and it's hard to see the final details of this bird, but he appears to be pretty good. The next I'm going to is the Champion Continental. This bird looks like very promising. She has pretty crisp coloration, but she's real young. She needs quite a bit of time to finish out in the hackle, in the saddle leading up into the tail, but she's promising. She looks like she could be a pretty nice chicken at the end of the day. The final bird that I have is in the all other class. She is actually a pretty stunning Araucana. You don't see them very often. She looks like she has pretty good body on her. She has very nice tufts. And just overall, a good looking bird. Something I'd like to see a little bit more on is that dark willow leg. In the images, they seem to be a little bit light. So just work on that. Plus, in one of the images, she seems to be a little bit out in the hackle there, which seems to be a theme with these standards here in the class. But overall, very nice bird. So in reviewing all of these, the Araucana, the Polish, the Spanish, the Cochin, the Rock, and finally the Sussex, I'll have to go with the White Rock male. He is just very powerful there. Excellent top line, nice bird overall. He needs a little bit more finish, but he's very nice. And then with reserve, I'm going to go to the Sussex. That party-colored bird is just excellent. I would like to see a little bit more breast on her as well. Next, I'm going to go through all of the birds that will be considered for overall champion. I've already gone and selected the Champion Bantam and Champion Standard, but now I'll review the Champion Turkey, Guinea, and Waterfowl. To start with, I have a Narragansett male, which was the Champion Turkey. From the images provided, this bird seems to be in very good condition, a little bit out in the tail, which is common for a male turkey especially. And from what I can see, it has good body and good color. One thing I would recommend is trying to get one image at least where the bird would be relaxed. That way I can have a better sense of what the top line and the bottom line, especially that breast, would be like for this male when his feathers are more relaxed. Next, I'm going to go through the Pearl Guinea, which also seems to be a very nice male. When I review this bird, he has a very nice top line and bottom line. and the coloration seemed to be right on. One critique that I would give is try to strive for a little bit more width throughout the back of that bird. Last, I'm going to go through the waterfowl. The champion waterfowl is a white call male, which also seems to be a very nice bird in general. He has very nice eye placement, a nice head on him, and good beak bill placement. Something I'd like to see is maybe another image that shows a different profile where the bird is slightly more alert. He seems very relaxed in this image, which is generally a good thing with call ducks. But I'd like to see a little bit more height on his tail. So when reviewing all of these birds, the modern game, the white rock male, and the three birds that I just reviewed, the Narragansett male, the pearl guinea, and the white call duck, for me it is a very clear winner with the modern game male. He just has excellent stance, very nice breast. Overall, a very good bird. I'm going to go with this bird for overall champion junior bird. So that will wrap it up for my selection of the champions of the junior show.
Hi, I'm Jeff Halbach, and I was selected to pick the champions out of the class champions that the other staff of judges had sent me. And I would like to say that in my lifetime, which is getting to be a long time, this is as good a group of judges that I've ever worked with. I'd also like to say I wish that the APA and ABA had gotten involved with this year's 2020 virtual Ohio National show. I'd like you all to know that all these class champions I'm reviewing and discussing are darn nice chickens, but I'm trying to show you some of the things and have you look for some things that the judging staff looks through on Champion Row. And I don't mean to be critical of any bird, but these things come into our decision-making process. In large fowl, the Lockenwälder female is as good a Lockenwälder as I've ever seen. She has great width of feather, excellent color contrast, probably a little photographer error. She's showing a slight twist in her hackle, and as her wings are folded towards the tips of the wings, I notice a fine black line, but that is a very good Lockenwälder, great bodied bird. The black Orpington is a strong framed Orpington as they need to be. I think the structure in the top of his tail could be a little more pronounced and not the best pose for us to look at, but a very good bird. The Cochin is a big-bodied gal. good type. When you look at other photographs of her back area, there was some openness between feathers. My guess is she's just finishing out of a mold, but a very nice bird from a strong Asiatic class. Our white Wyandotte is an excellent type bird, great tail width and definition of tail. Good-headed, standing well. I would like to see her be a little whiter or brighter in color. The Sumatra, he's got a great, broad, long and flowing tail with an abundance of tail coverts, great wing carriage, beautiful sheen, multiple spurs. The comb, I think, is a little big. And I said I'm pointing out some minor things that we're all looking for, but he's really a well-finished bird. The white leghorn, I love his style and his finish. Great headed bird for a leghorn, little light in leg color. So the grand champion large fowl will be the black Sumatra cockerel, and the reserve champion large fowl will be the white Wyandotte female. The Bantam champion, class champions, I'll review now. The White Plymouth Rock, Bantam, nice headed bird, good front end, nice legs under him, good leg color. If he has an issue with me, it would be, I think his tail exceeds the medium length tail that the standard calls for. Perhaps a little long in tail, which makes him a little longer bodied. The black cochin is a nice female, good headed bird, well finished, great sheen. The modern is a well finished bird. Perhaps could have a little better pose and a little better color on the front of her neck. The black Sumatra is another great bird, great type, color, got sheen coming through the computer at me. She shows a little bit of openness in the hackle, and I think that's more of an operator error than it being an actual hole in the hackle, but that's what she's showing today. The Pekin, black Pekin frizzle, not in our standard, and the birds in the non-standard class that I did, both large fowl and bantam, what I did was try to research on the internet what those birds were supposed to look like in the particular country that they were entered from. Even though they're not in our standard, we looked them up and found what we could find. That frizzle has excellent curl. She's just a little sweetheart. I'd like to own that chicken. She's beautiful. BB Red Old English, nice hackle and saddle, a little low in wing carriage, and I thought could have been posed a little better. We also had a rose comb white leghorn pullet, one of two really good ones I've ever seen. The debris in the background really I don't like there, but it doesn't detract from the quality of that bird. The way she's showing in that picture, she'd win with a garbage can behind her, which is almost there. Excellent type bird. Grand Champion Bantam, Rosecomb White Leghorn female, Reserve Champion Bantam, Black Cochin female. Nice job. Okay, reviewing the duck classes at a virtual show. The roan is a nice-bodied bird, deep-fronted, great keel, standing a little bit too much at attention. And on the secondary wing feathers, I notice a little white. The cayuga is lacking a good stance. Nice color, good bodied bird, but again, just not quite standing well. The white runner, really a nice headed bird. Eye placement is excellent. Nice slim neck, could possibly be a little more upright. The white call is a great typey bird. Could be a little smoother and a little larger and brighter in eye. The champion duck is the white runner, reserve champion duck, the white call. The Toulouse is just a magnificent bodied bird. She's smooth, a nice arched neck, great deep body. Length of back is good, and that back is nicely arched. And for those of you that don't know, those loose feathering, the loose feathers on the back of the bird, it's the way we want them. The Sevastopol is a nice bodied bird, however, I'd like a little more profuse feathering and curling. Brown China has great station, a nice headed bird. Perhaps a little more fullness of breast would be in order. That great Toulouse goose is champion goose. The Brown China would be reserve. I had an excellent entry of turkeys, much better quality and in numbers than I had expected. I think we had almost 40. The turkey class, just to mention a couple birds, I thought there was a very nice Beltsville white, 3 or 4 very nice Narragansetts, several bourbon reds. The class was led, and the champion turkey would be the bronze tom, an exceptional bird in body and color. As my dad was fond of saying, that guy looks like he's on fire. And the bourbon red with tremendous body, station type was great. A couple of minor color defects. So the bourbon red would be reserve champion turkey. Well, welcome back to the virtual show. This is the second weekend in November, and for the first time since 1973, I'm not in Columbus, Ohio. And I miss that. However, I feel that this first international virtual show is a great event and a great way to promote purebred poultry internationally. Our 4 birds under consideration this morning for Grand Champion and Reserve Grand Champion of the show are the Black Sumatra Carkerel, the Rosecomb White Leghorn Bantam Pullet, the Toulouse Goose, and the Bronze Turkey. All 4 excellent specimens and representative of their breeds. Without further ado, the reserve grand champion of the 2020 virtual show is a bronze turkey tom, and the grand champion of the show is a wonderful Toulouse goose. My thanks and hats off to all the exhibitors.